Alright, what's up you guys? I'm here, back from Smackdown 1000. Really tired, but overall, I thought it was a very enjoyable event live. But let's look at this from a critical point of view, because obviously things are usually better when you're there live. But, the matches themselves, I'm not really going to give star ratings for the matches. I really only do that for pay-per-views. But I will give the overall show a letter grade at the end. So, we started out with Truth TV. No pyro, no special stage, just your SmackDown Live basic setup, which is kind of disappointing. And, you started with the video package. It was decent. I was really hoping we would get Rise Up. That's my favorite SmackDown theme. And I just wanted to see the Ovaltron or the Fist. Obviously, we didn't. And I really think this show would have improved with a third hour. I really do. I don't really warrant 3-hour shows televised, but being it's an anniversary show, I think it deserved it. Raw can be 3 hours, but you can't give SmackDown 1000 3 hours. But we started out with Truth TV. We had R-Truth and Carmella in the ring. And then, they were talking about how they only had one show. And it was actually a pretty entertaining segment, because you had Stephanie McMahon come out. And, she was saying how, she built the show. She was the first ever general manager. But then Shane comes out. And, he says SmackDown's the A show. And then Vince comes out, which I did not expect. And then he basically says he likes to do things bigger, so they have a dance break, and then it cuts. So, entertaining segment from the McMahons. It's good to see Vince. It's always good to see Vince. Especially if Stone Cold comes out afterwards, but not tonight. And then we had AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan versus the Usos. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, really advancing their Crown Jewel storyline. And, this match was decent. It was kind of predictable. You kind of knew that there'd be a screwy finish with AJ and Daniel Bryan. And it seemed like they were really hinting at a heel AJ Styles. Because Daniel Bryan accidentally hits AJ. And then he kind of, he pushes him away, but kind of in like a heel fashion. He's giving him dirty looks and all that. So, I don't know if they're teasing some kind of heel turn. I think that would be a mistake. But, we'll see. Time will tell. And the Usos picked up the win. They did the double super kick on Daniel Bryan for the pin. Decent match. And then backstage we had Paige. You had a segment with her and Vicky Guerrero, Teddy Long, and John Laurinaitis. Kind of, your GMs there. It's good to see Vicky. You got the warranted excuse me. You got Teddy Long dancing. Did not set up a tag team match, but oh well. Honestly, I think it actually would have been better if he would have set up the tag team match between the Usos, AJ Styles, and Daniel Bryan. Just have him do that. That would have been funny. Have him make fun of himself a little bit. And then we had the in-ring segment, the return of Evolution. You have Batista, Randy Orton, Ric Flair, and Triple H come out to their old Evolution theme, the graphics and everything. And they go to the ring, all four of them. And, you have Ric Flair just being Ric Flair. It was awesome. He's over there wooing and dancing. You had Triple H cut his little promo. And then, of course, we had Randy Orton saying, oh, he's better. He outshined Evolution. And they were just a stepping stool, basically. Batista gets on the microphone. And, he saluted his hometown crowd. And he said he was nervous to come back, which is understandable. But, he said, he still loves the fans. And he's not here to be on the microphone. And this segment, in my opinion, really went on to tease Triple H and Batista, most likely for WrestleMania, I assume. Because Batista said him and Triple H had some matches together, and they had a great rivalry. But Triple H has never beat him, which was very interesting. So, we'll see where that goes. I'm assuming this was to tease it. Batista and Triple H, they still hugged. So, you know, the seeds were planted. This was a really cool segment, though. I really enjoyed this. I got some footage of their entrance, if you want to check that out, on my channel. But, yeah, this was a very enjoyable segment. I did like this. And he also did reference Batista and Blutista, so that just made it even better. Next up, we had the World Cup qualifier match, The Miz versus Rusev with Lana at his side. Yeah, I'm just going to read this off here. Rusev blasts Miz with a spinning wheel kick. Miz turns out of the ring. Aiden English distracts Rusev. Miz rolls up Rusev from behind for the win. So, yeah, that was quick. Yeah, that's it. So this match only went seconds. So, you know, I don't know if this was due to time constraints or if this was actually supposed to happen this way. But, yeah, it was kind of surprising. I'm glad The Miz won. I like The Miz, one of my favorites. But, yeah, roll up for the win. Can't really say much about that match, honestly. It was really just more of a segment. Next up, we had probably, in my opinion, the best segment of the night. We had the Cutting Edge. And this was rumored to be taken off the show and everything, but rest assured, this did happen. Cutting Edge, you had Edge come out, and, dude, it's great to see Edge back. One of my all-time favorites, probably the best entrance music. I love Edge. So, no Christian, unfortunately. That would have been cool. But, you know, we had the Cutting Edge. You know, he brought Becky Lynch out, and he gave this great promo. This was fantastic. And I like Becky Lynch's promo work lately. I think she's a great heel. But I'll always be a Charlotte fan. So I'm not one of the ones booing her. I'm not going to jump that bandwagon. So you had Edge basically talking to Becky Lynch about how, in kayfabe, he regrets being a heel. Because, you know, he's, you know, just burned every bridge he's had with friends. He's ruined friendships. But he's been on top, and he had to crawl and scratch to get his way to the top. He wasn't born a main eventer, basically. And in the end, he made the wrong decision, because he has to look at the world titles on the wall, that all the world titles he won, all the accomplishments, but he looks at them by himself. Because he has no friends, he has no family, all that. You know, kayfabe, obviously. And it's good to see some kayfabe here. And then Becky Lynch, she's like, I don't like myself, you're right. I love myself. And then she just completely destroys Edge and just plays off a great heel. And then Edge really just, the phases he made after that was just fantastic. But Charlotte comes out and basically a brawl ensues. You know, she's like, just basically attacks her. You have Finlay, Jamie Noble, they all come out and try to break her up. So yeah, just some referees, just basically your normal brawl leading up to a pay-per-view. But I really enjoyed that promo with Edge and Becky Lynch. I thought that was fantastic. Next up, we had the Smackdown Tag Team titles, The New Day versus The Bar. This match went on pretty long, and I thought it was pretty good. You had back and forth. We had Xavier Woods and Big E in the ring this time, while Kofi Kingston played as their manager, basically. The third man out. And this match was really good. You had a lot of false finishes. You had really good showmanship by Big E. Honestly, he did fantastic in this match. And, you know, I'm a huge Cesaro fan, so that was cool to see. But, like I said, we had commercials in between this one. So this one had a few segments. And Big Show comes out. And so you have Big Show come out. And they had this announce table with pancakes with Jerry Lawler and Booker T. So they did the announcing for that match. Big Show comes out. I thought it was really weird. I'm just like, okay. You assume he's going to help the New Day, and I shit you not, we have a Big Show heel turn. I thought this was a joke. Like, literally. Like, is he going to be a face tomorrow now? Like, it's just, how many turns has this guy had? He came back last week, and he's already turned. So, you know, he puts Kofi Kingston through the announce table. Xavier Woods got a pretty big bump on the barrier, so he was taken out. And then we get a pin to Big E, and we have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And I guess Big Show is aligning himself with the Bar. We'll see where this one goes, but I thought this was a good match. And, you know, it managed to garner a surprise, so you got to give him credit for that, right? Next up, we had the World Cup qualifier, Rey Mysterio making his return to SmackDown in his first singles match back against Shinsuke Nakamura. This was a dream match for a lot of people. Like, I was excited when this match got announced. But, you know, this match started out pretty slow, but I think the farther we went, the more it picked up. You know, we had a really good spot where Nakamura was out on his back on the mat on the outside, and Rey Mysterio did like a little slide out of the ring, just perfect. It was just lands on him perfect. Really cool, really unique. I like that. And we did have very unique ring gear by Rey. He had like the little mohawk. I'm assuming he brought Eddie colors. It was green and black, which was more Eddie colors, so I'm assuming that was done for Eddie. And finally, we had Rey Mysterio do the 619, and we had the frog splash off the rope for the win. So we got our Eddie tribute. This was great. And we even saw a classic Rey Mysterio Frankensteiner at one point, so that was cool. Like some WCW shit. Love it. But yeah, it was just cool to see Rey do the frog splash. A little mini one for Eddie. So that was really cool. But yeah, we had Rey Mysterio for the win. And I guess he qualifies for the World Cup, wherever that may be. So this was a good match. A lot of back and forth. You had Nakamura had a strong showing. You didn't make him look weak. This wasn't a burial. I didn't think Nakamura was going to win regardless. So, you know, I did like this match. Maybe it was better in person, but, you know, it's good to see Rey Mysterio back. It's good to see all these returning wrestlers back. And then finally, we had The Undertaker come out while Rey Mysterio is doing a celebration. And he comes out, does his normal entrance, gets in the ring, and says, DX, I got 3 words for you. Rest in peace. And that's it. Interesting little fact here, though. Kane, Mark Henry, and Torrie Wilson were all advertised for this show and did not show up. I assumed Kane was going to come out with The Undertaker. I assumed, you know, Torrie Wilson, I didn't know where she was going to fit in. I don't really blame him for not putting her on the card or even, you know, have a segment. So, yeah, no Kane either. That was kind of interesting. I don't know if there's some story to that one or what. Time constraints, maybe. But, yeah. And when it comes to The Rock returning, we didn't get a Rock return. We got a tweet. So, yeah. No Rock video package, no via satellite. Obviously, no run-ins, no entrance, no appearance by The Rock. He just did a tweet, which to me is kind of... I understand he's in London filming the Fast and Furious spin-off film, but you could at least act like you cared, personally. I mean, he came up with the term Smackdown. He built Smackdown, you know, for the first few years. So I think it would have at least been fitting to either have a video package or just show up. So, yeah, a tweet's not going to really do much for the Rock fans. I mean, a tweet comes on the screen. What's that going to do for Rock fans, you know? So that was kind of disappointing. I didn't expect him to show up, but I did expect him to at least have a recorded video message or something like that. But like I said, I think the flaws of this show, the biggest flaw is I think it could have been a lot longer. Make it an hour longer. Have some more legends. You know, have a cool stage. I even saw a suggestion, put Eddie Guerrero's Lowrider up on the stage. That would have been so cool. You know, have pyro. Go all out for this. I enjoyed the show. I'm going to give the show overall a B. Which is not a bad grade. I thought it was good. A B is good. It's more than I can say for Super Showdown and SummerSlam and all of WrestleMania. So, I enjoyed it. So, I think it was a solid B. And, yeah, there's not much more to say about this, really. It was kind of light on in-ring action, which is understandable when you have all these legends returning in a 2-hour show. So, you know, the in-ring action we had I thought was decent. I enjoyed the main event. And, you know, it was cool to still see Batista. Yes, I'm a Batista fan. We had a little segment with Rey Mysterio and Jeff Hardy backstage. So that was kind of cool. And, you know, it's awesome to see Edge and The Undertaker. I know a lot of people are disappointed by The Undertaker's, if you even want to call it a promo. I don't know if that's time constraints or what, but, you know, they even could have let it go an extra 10 minutes like they do Raw, you know. Give Undertaker a few more lines. Have Kane come out. So, overall, very enjoyable show live. And the feedback I'm getting so far, I'm not getting too much, but I'm seeing back and forth. People either liked it or they didn't. So, it's kind of 50-50 split right now. So, that's my opinion. I give it a B. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let me know your thoughts down below, for sure. And this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.